Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your man, Big B. What is happening? Welcome to Steelers Almighty and the Big Show. Obviously, the Big Show is me and Big G on a weekly basis. But as we mentioned yesterday, and we will mention for anybody today, Big G is not here, not able to be with us right now. And it's unfortunate. Hoping everything is going to be okay with the big guy. I think it will be. But unfortunately, he's not going to be with us this evening. So everybody send a special shout out prayer to Big G. We need the big guy back. We need him back. The Big Show is nothing without Big G. It's only half of us here tonight. So I'm going to try to hold it down for the both of us. So I appreciate everybody being in here, man. Thank you guys. We got a good show for you guys today. Look, first things we're going to talk about the wide receiver 2 hole and some of this craziness that's going on as far as a Chase Claypool rumor. I think that could be one of the more laughable things that I think I've heard of. But we'll talk about it. 2, it's desperate times in Pittsburgh. There's an article going on about the Pittsburgh Steelers, or an article that's out there talking about, are the Pittsburgh Steelers desperate? Are their moves being desperate? Or are they actually strategic? I've got my thoughts on that. We'll discuss that in detail. And then the rankings roundup. Is it real or ridiculous? Just talking about what some of the rankings, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And are we as good as we think we are? Or is everybody else right? So we'll talk about that and a lot more tonight on the Big Show. Like I said, man, we appreciate everybody being here. It's a somber one today because our man Big G's not going to be with us, but we'll hold it down. I will do my best. I know the chat, you will do your best. So everybody will hold it down. So I appreciate everybody being here as always, man. Thank you guys for showing up and showing out the way that you guys do. Again, if you want to help support the channel, members that are in here, members, and we see Felicia is here. How are you doing, Felicia? Thank you. We appreciate you being in here. Our man Tom is in here. We appreciate it. Brenda is also in here. Hey, Brenda, what's going on? We appreciate you. Thank you for showing up and showing out. My man S. Palmer sending his shout outs to Big G. So, as a member, you always get your comment and question put up on the stage. We recognize all our members first. We appreciate you supporting the channel that way. In other ways to do that, super chats. You can always get your comment and question, or you will always get your comment and question up on the screen. You know how all that works. We appreciate you there. Become a member. Also, the merch is available. Go to Steelers Almighty Shop, pick you up a merch, shirt, hat, glass, anything that you're looking for is out there right now on Steelers Almighty Shop. We appreciate everybody being in there. Let's get to this, man. My man Steeler Lee, what's going on? We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. Thanks, Mark Malone. We'll get this one done. We will get this one done for Big G tonight, everybody. We will make sure we get this one in and done for our big guy tonight. So, first things first, obviously, basically some of the rumors. Now, I talked about these rumors last night, and somebody brought it up, and I'm like, I'm not even going to, mess with the rumors. But now the rumors appear to be everywhere. While I still don't believe them, I'll address it. Talking about Darius Slay. Injury rumors, that he was not seen at recent workouts, and there's chatter swirl about, some of his injured knee, lingering issues. And my first thought was, did he pass a physical? Because if he didn't pass a physical, the Pittsburgh Steelers would have never signed him. And while I believe, the Steelers were a little desperate to get Darius Slay, I get it. They wanted to clean up the corner position. They wouldn't have signed a guy that couldn't play. At least I don't think. So what would be the point? If the guy can't run, because that's the report out there, his knee is troublesome, he can't run. Well, if he can't run, first of all, how did he pass a physical? And 2, did the Steelers just brush that aside? We'll pass him just because we want a guy who can't run. That doesn't make sense to me. That literally doesn't make sense to me. Now, if he heard it after the fact, that's a different conversation. Well, Slay's kind of had a bum knee for over a decade now. His first one that he had arthroscopic surgery was back in 2013. Then he had another one a decade later in 2023. Looked fine last year playing, ran just fine last year. So did he just recently get hurt? That would be another question. Now, if that's the case, all bets are off. But doesn't seem to be. And if it is, the Steelers maybe that's one of the reasons that they got Jalen Ramsey is because Slay got hurt. They didn't want to just come out and say that, and they needed another corner. I don't know. I mean, but if Slay can't play, and that would be my thing, if Darius Slay can't play, well, then isn't it time to cut him? Like if he's hurt so bad, he's on a 1-year deal. If he's hurt so bad that he can't play, isn't it time to just move on? I mean, it would appear that way to me. If he can't play, move on. The Steelers haven't done that. So I don't know. Felicia says you agreed the Steelers knew what they were getting into when they signed Slay. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So, and he looked to be running fine in OTAs, and people were out there. If Darius Slay wasn't out there, people would have said he wasn't out there running. You didn't hear anything about him not being that. You didn't hear anything about that. So that's my whole thing is that maybe it's the truth. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Arts Baby Doll joined back up and became a member. Look, I know there were some people that were members before, and you're like, hey, I didn't cancel my membership. Why am I not a member? I apologize. Again, we made some changes, made some things that were cheaper. We basically lowered the prices on everything for everybody. And any change you make, YouTube kicks all members out and makes you re-up. I apologize for that. It is what it is. It just is what it is. So that's the whole thing. Yes, Justin Watson, JPJ, and Slay were working on stuff in OTAs. And that's kind of my thing. Is like people saw him out there working out, working on. People saw him. So it's not like he was hiding, he was back in the tent or somewhere. People literally saw him out on the field. So if he was hurt and couldn't play, somebody would have said that. That's why I didn't want to address it because I'm just like, come on, man. Justin, you're 100% right. I'm just like, what are we doing with the stuff? I get it. There's not a whole lot going on right now. I 100% get it. But come on, man. Come on. I mean, is this what it has to be? Just constant rumors? Vaughn, appreciate you being in here. He said, what's on, BB? Have a good live. We'll catch the replay. We appreciate you just popping in, my man. I know you got a lot on your plate. My man Kenneth Miller signed up to become a member. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Art's Baby Doll got her membership back. So, absolutely. Happy birthday, and to you. Well, happy birthday, Art's Baby Doll. We appreciate you. Happy birthday. 21 years old today, I bet. 21. Can finally get you some Thunderbird. I love it. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, the thing about it is that it's wild. It's just wild. Henry Johnson says Darius Slay equals Peterson. Wash, looking for that last payday. Yeah, Henry. Look, man, I'm going to be as nice as I possibly can. I know that's the internet troll thing to say that everybody's washed, but you didn't watch Darius Slay play football last year. You just didn't watch. And it's okay that you didn't watch. And I know, hey, I want to be cool and say something clever online. You didn't watch him play football last year, because if you did, you would not be saying that he's washed. You wouldn't be saying that because it's not even remotely true. It's not even remotely. Oh, my bad, Mr. Justin Watson. You got it last year. You said it before I could even do it. You said it before I apologize, man. I apologize. I'll let you have your due. Yeah. Patrick Peterson was finished before he came to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Darius Slay was not. Period. End of story. So period. End of story. That's the whole thing. I get it. We got to say something clever online, and that's the key. So, but the only thing that we can think of, and we're jaded fans because we got ripped off with Patrick Peterson thinking he was going to be something. But if you paid attention to Patrick Peterson the previous 2 years before he came to Pittsburgh, you knew that wasn't a good corner anymore. You knew. And then when he got to Pittsburgh, he was worse. Darius Slay was good last year. Period. End of story. So that's just the way that it is. Jay's upper teeth. Look at him already. Hey, Felicia. Look at him. Look at him out there. Already doing his thing. Boy, you better be glad Arch Baby or our man Alonzo Dunn ain't here. He's not having it. He's not having it. Not having it. So I appreciate y'all, man. So those are the rumors right there as far as Darius Slay. And then as far as Jalen Ramsey. Now we got to hear the rumors about Jalen Ramsey, about, according to David Hyde of the Miami Sun-Sentinel. It's always weird that you didn't hear about him. He didn't write any of this stuff about Jalen Ramsey saying, when he was in Miami, he didn't write about him being late to practice. Now all of a sudden he's late to practice, showing up when the team's already stretching, and how he would constantly undermine he would undermine defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. It was wild because he said he loved Vic Fangio. So apparently him saying that he loved him meant that he was undermining him. Look, I get it. There's not a lot going on right now. I totally understand. But is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? Like I said, you didn't hear this when he was in Miami. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. Like I said, it's just, I know there's not a ton going on, people, but just don't feed too much into the rumor mill. I don't know. Just don't feed too much into the rumor mill. And let's just say that all this stuff about Jalen Ramsey is true. Let's just say every single bit of it is true. What's that got to do with him in Pittsburgh? Fresh start, all that stuff. Not to mention, you didn't hear anybody say that about him in his previous destinations. In Jacksonville, you didn't hear that. In LA, you didn't hear that. But apparently in Miami, you did. Come on, man. I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it. So there, exactly, Concept. Ramsey was a team captain in 2023. He was. It's always something. Super chat bar main man Alonzo Dunn. He said, "Man, I can't stay. Happy B-Day to Arch Baby Doll. I'm here, Jay, but I have to leave. Felicia, my eyes are everywhere. Lord have mercy." So basically, don't start none, won't be none, Felicia. I'm watching you. I got moderators in the chat watching Felicia flirting with our man, Jay. Man, I can't. Look, Big G not here to contain it tonight, people. Y'all going to have to act right. Y'all are going to have to act right. That's all I'm saying to you. Y'all are going to have to act right. So it is what it is. I love y'all, man. I love y'all. Al said he didn't write that then because he knows they got hosed by Khan. Exactly. He said it wants to make Miami feel like they got the better of it, says Al Lewis. My whole thing is, it's not even that he didn't write it when he got traded. He didn't write it when it was happening. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you write it when it's happening? Hey, Jalen Ramsey's just being disruptive to the defensive coordinator. Jalen Ramsey shows up late, rubbing the locker room wrong. Why wouldn't you say that? But he didn't. Now that he's gone, now all of a sudden, oh, he's a problem. Get out of here, man. And not to mention, if he showed up late when teams are stretching, do you know how many reporters out there would have seen him showing up late? It wouldn't have just been one person. You're telling me not one person would have written about how Jalen Ramsey is always late? Get out of here. I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. Luke Cage signed back up to be a member, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Thank you very much, man. Mr. Dodd in the house. So, Mr. Dodd in the house. Uh-oh, Felicia says I'm innocent. but have a good night. Yeah, They all say that. Uh-oh. I may have spoken out of turn. My bad. I apologize. I don't want no trouble, Miss Felicia. I don't want no trouble. But those are the quick hits, man, as far as Pittsburgh Steelers are concerned. 2 rumors. We talked about a little bit about them yesterday. I'm just not interested. That's all. I'm just not interested. The Darius Slay issue, like I said, people literally saw him at minicamp working. Maybe he got hurt after minicamp. Okay, fine. I'm just not interested in a rumor. I'm just not interested. We're going to move on. So, topic number 1 for tonight, the wide receiver 2 hole. We all know that there's a hole there. We know that it's a little bit troubling. But our man Jacob, I think it's Putieri, we'll just call him that. We apologize, Jacob, for butchering your name. Suggests the Steelers could reunite with Chase Claypool. Usually I try to build up segments and talk about them a little bit. I'm going to say this. I think it's absolute garbage that Chase Claypool's name is even being brought up about coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's absolute garbage. And here's why. Chase Claypool was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He didn't know how to act. And then he wasn't productive. And now the thing about it is bringing him back. Like, why would you bring him back? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's not that, he had 2 800-yard seasons with the Steelers to start his career. Then he was terrible. He went from that, to terrible. And not just terrible with us. It was terrible with several different teams. He was terrible with Chicago. He was terrible in Miami. And then he was terrible. Now he got hurt in Buffalo and sat out the season with a toe injury. Who knows what kind of toe? I mean, is it turf toe? Because we know how turf toe can be. You get turf toe that bad where you got to sit out the year, it usually doesn't get better. It requires a surgery, at least 1, maybe 2, and it usually doesn't come back ever the same. So Chase Claypool coming back to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I find it absolutely laughable that somebody would literally write an article about that. I mean, I get it. It's slow right now. I understand. And then tried to justify it by giving reasons on why he should come. Like, what? Come on, guys. Chase Claypool is finished. And maybe he can come back and play. Maybe that's the case. Not for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay? Not for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, we saw what we needed to saw. I mean, Chase Claypool basically tick-tocked his way out of the NFL. He definitely tick-tocked his way out of Pittsburgh. And that's all we needed to see. And if the Pittsburgh Steelers are willing to give up on ultra-talented George Pickens and with his issues, you're telling me they're going to bring back Chase Claypool, who doesn't have near the talent and still has the issues? Come on. Man, I'm out on it. And it isn't that I don't want him to get another chance. I want everybody to get a chance to play in the National Football League. Every single person that wants a chance, I think they deserve a chance. But that doesn't mean he has to get that chance with us, especially when we already kicked him out of town because of his antics. Earn your way back. I 100% understand, but you can't earn your way back here. You got to earn your way back somewhere else. You got to prove yourself somewhere else, not with us. So that's all. Mapletron. Come on, Digital Dust. You got to stop, bro. Stop it. So, and that's my whole thing is that I don't know, man. Like I said, he just wasn't. I mean, and the production went down. What did he have? 451 yards in 2022, 154 in 2023, and then he sat out 2024. This is not something serious that the Pittsburgh Steelers, number one, are considering or even should consider. So that's all. That's all. But Claypool is better than Moncrief. Not saying much. The Browns will take him. So, ooh, Justin Watson's got a Claypool jersey. Look, I've told y'all about this jersey thing, man. We got to stop. We got to stop. And I don't get me wrong. I mean, y'all know my philosophy. I just don't buy jerseys in general, except if Aaron Rodgers wins a playoff game. I told y'all if Aaron Rodgers wins a playoff game, he will be the first jersey that I ever buy. I've never bought any jersey, not just a Steeler jersey, no jersey. But if Aaron Rodgers wins a playoff game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if he's the starting quarterback, damn it, I'm buying an Aaron Rodgers jersey. I made that promise to you guys. I'm not going to break it. I'm not going to break it. It is what it is. But we'll see. Boom. King Train 215 just became a member. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for signing up and supporting the channel that way. So, yeah, Justin, look, I'm not saying I'm the perfect person, but my philosophy on the jerseys, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It takes a lot. And we've been in a crazy drought, and I'm willing to break my philosophy on jersey buying if Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback of the team. I'm willing to do it. But yeah, Chase Claypool, this is, in my opinion, this is laughable. I'll just be quite honest. It's laughable. And again, I get it that it's a slow time. There's not a ton of topics to talk about right now until training camp. But we got to be better than this as Steeler people. There's other things to talk. Hell, I'd be more willing to talk about those stupid rumors about slaying Ramsey than I am about Chase Claypool coming back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm just not going to listen to that. And now again, anything is possible. So is there a 0% chance that this won't happen? Hell no. So, I'm not saying that there's no chance that this won't happen, but we'll see. We'll make it work. Mark Cunningham says, Big B, I find it ironic that one of Claypool's last missteps was going public about no music at practice. And then right after we traded him, there's now music at practice. I don't know. Maybe it's because if they played the music at practice, Chase Claypool wasn't going to practice. He was going to give a half-ass effort and just do a bunch of TikTok dances, the whole time. Or celebrate on the field when he should be handing the ball to refs or stupid stuff like that. Either way, Chase Claypool he wasn't good in the NFL. It wasn't just Pittsburgh where he wasn't good, because I know that's the next thing that people go to as well. It's Mike Tomlin, or it's the receiver coach, or the offensive coordinator. Was it the same thing in Chicago? Was it the same thing in Miami? Was it the same thing in Buffalo? If it was, fine. All those coaches and all those offensive coordinators and quarterbacks and everybody at all of those places are all garbage. And Claypool should still be playing. But yet no other NFL team thought to bring him in. That's my only point with it. So that's my only point. So Felicia says, Big B, I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan. If we win a Super Bowl, I will buy you and me a jersey. Oh, so if we win a Super Bowl, I'm going to have 2 Aaron Rodgers jerseys. Shoot, I can dig that. And, y'all keep Felicia to it. She says she's going to buy me one and her one. I'll take it. Then I'll have 2. I will absolutely take it. So I'll absolutely take it. King Train says, I own 3 jerseys: Palomalu, Shazier, Kiesel. Now, those aren't bad jerseys to have. Unfortunately, Shazier's career got cut short, but I feel like he was going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler for a long time. And the other 2 were lifers. So those aren't bad jerseys to have. Those are not bad jerseys to have. I'm with you. I am with you. Cash in the bank, says Felicia. Okay. So James Harrison, Henry Johnson said James Harrison got cut how many times? He turned out okay. James Harrison got cut. He did. But James Harrison showed flashes of being a serious football player. That's what got Claypool kicked out of the league. He didn't act like he was a serious football player. That's the problem. Teams will put up with certain stuff if you show the talent. But when you have half-ass ability out there playing football and then your attitude is bad, they're not going to deal with that for very long. The Steelers put up with it till they didn't want to. Goodbye. Basically, they got rid of him and brought in Pickens. Goodbye. And then everybody else was like, this guy's not good enough. He thinks he's better than what he is. His attitude doesn't show that he even needs to be on our roster. Goodbye. So there's that. But I do hope he does get a second chance. I do. I hope he gets a second chance, just not with us. Go prove yourself, but you get to prove yourself with a different franchise, not ours. So that's all. Yeah, there's the difference. James was a diabolical beast. Exactly. I feel like a lot of James Harrison issues were people didn't think that he could play the position because of his size. And once he actually got an opportunity to get on the football field where they said, okay, we'll put you out there. What can you do? James Harrison was crazy. Claypool got his opportunities. Like I said, he TikToked his way out. There's the difference. Two different is one, didn't get an opportunity, undersized, playing a position. When he finally got out there, the man was a diabolical, crazy man. The other one got his opportunity and TikToked his way out of town. It's just the difference. So, but that's just me. Justin Watson says, man, I have a Shazier jersey too. Him getting hurt changed the whole trajectory of the franchise, really. Unbelievably sad because he was a really special player. I mean, have they replaced him yet? I mean, everything that you just said is true. Have they really replaced him yet? Because Ryan Shazier was outstanding in coverage. Outstanding. But he also came downhill and knocked you out. Have they replaced that yet? I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Shazier, I saw the game. I was at the game, not the game he got hurt, the year before in that playoff game in Kansas City where he had played a phenomenal football game. I saw it in person. I'm like, this guy is unreal. This guy is unreal. He basically shut Travis Kelce, just shut him completely off. Just shut him completely off. So, Big B, would you sacrifice the next 5 seasons to compete for a guaranteed Super Bowl win this season? I would, said my man Isaac Epps, K.E. Isaac Epps. I mean, define sacrifice the next 5 seasons. And if competing for a Super Bowl means we don't win it, I don't know that I would sacrifice it. I love the question, though. It's like, would you sacrifice the next 5 seasons? If it guaranteed me a Super Bowl, then it depends on what you mean by sacrifice. It depends on what you mean by sacrifice. If sacrifice is, hey, the Steelers are going to go 5-12 for the next 5 years, then no. Because again, competing for a Super Bowl didn't mean win it. And if we're not going to win it, I don't want to go 5-12 the next 5 years. I don't want to go 5-12 any year. Any year. So, yeah, no. No, I wouldn't necessarily do that. I wouldn't do that. No. Especially, like I said, we don't know what sacrifice means the next 5 years. And you didn't guarantee us a Super Bowl. So that's where I'm at with it. Let's move on, man. So are the Steelers desperate? Gary Duliak says on Steelers Depot, he says there's a desperation in Pittsburgh and it's showing. So I guess my question to you, chat, is desperation a bad thing? Like, it seems like the Steelers made a bunch of moves and they're desperate to win a playoff game. Isn't that what we've been asking for? Go all out, do some things desperate. But the thing is, they made these desperate moves without sacrificing their future. Like, they didn't give up multiple first and second round picks, to get Jalen Ramsey, or Jonnu Smith or Aaron Rodgers. Now, they gave up a second round pick last year for DK Metcalf, but DK Metcalf was worth it. So what else did they do, that sacrificed their future? I don't think they did anything. So to me, yeah, I think they are desperate to win a playoff game, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As long as, like I said, is that you're not sacrificing your future. So that's my whole point. My man Tom says making moves to get better is not desperation. I agree with that too. But my thing, I don't mind the desperation talk. I don't mind the Steelers being desperate to win a playoff game, because aren't we? I mean, let's just look at it realistically. Aren't we desperate to win at least a playoff game? Of course we are. I know that's not what we want to hear. That's not what we want to say as fans, because we're the damn Pittsburgh Steelers. But 8 years, yeah, we're pretty desperate to win a playoff game. So call it what it is. We're desperate. We made desperation moves to try to win one. Okay, I'm fine with it. It's better than doing nothing. It's better than just sitting back and doing nothing and just saying, okay. Yeah. There is nothing wrong with being desperate to win. Nothing. I mean, everybody should be desperate to win. Now, everybody's roster is built different to where they're not necessarily have to be desperate. They don't have to be. The Eagles roster, I mean, they won a Super Bowl, but their roster says they're not desperate because they're gonna win. Chiefs, gonna win. Buffalo and the Ravens, as much as we don't like the Ravens, they're gonna win football games, people. So saying that we're desperate, okay. I can live with it. I can live with that. I don't have any problems with being desperate, going all out to try to win. Arch Babies also, what if it looks like desperation? I don't think, like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So Darren Jackson says more like sense of urgency. Sense of urgency, desperation. I'm with all of it. Al Lewis says, if you're not acting desperate, you're not trying, in my opinion. There you go, Mr. Al Lewis. You're damn right. I don't mind the Steelers being desperate to win. I don't mind them making desperate moves to go win football games. What I mind is, Tanya Jackson's back as a member. Thank you, Tanya. Again, everybody, just want to let everybody know as an update. If you were a member before and all of a sudden you're in here and you're not a member, it's because we lowered the prices on memberships. And YouTube says if you change the spelling on anything with memberships, we kick everybody out. So because we made those changes, you literally have to sign back up. But it's in your best interest because the prices are lower. So hell, you might even jump up a tier or two just because the prices were lower, are currently lower. So we thank everybody for your support and the inconvenience of going through this. I know it's an inconvenience, man. I get it. But yeah, I don't mind the desperation, man. So DCTV, Steelers are in the parking lot after the club trying to find stragglers. Okay, we are. I mean, and first of all, DCTV, I love that analogy because as fellas, haven't we all been there? Struck out in the club and we're like, we're desperate. We'll take anything. We'll take anything. And that's where the Steelers are right now. I mean, and look, that's why I love you guys in this chat, in the Steelers Almighty family, people that come in here, because I built this thing, me and my partner, we built this on honesty. Yes, I'm a fan. Yes, I'm a fanatic, and I'm crazy about the Steelers. But I try to be as honest about them as possible because that's realistic. We don't have to throw a bunch of clickbaity nonsense about Chase Claypool coming to the Steelers to try to attract attention. It'll take longer. Okay, it'll take longer. Fine. But people will be here and stick around because it's real. Bottom line with all of that, though, is that we're a desperate team, and there's nothing wrong with saying we're desperate. There's nothing wrong with it. So nothing at all. My man Justin Watson, me and Justin Watson don't agree on a whole lot, but we agree on, I shouldn't say not a whole lot. We don't agree on some things, but he's respectful, and he comes back and we talk football, and it is what it is. I love that kind of interaction. We don't have to agree. We can disagree and be mad, but we can come back. And he says, I like that there's a lot of cohesive vision for both phases and the future. I don't remember the last time I could say that for all three. That's the whole point. Look, Omar Khan was handed a mess, and he's trying to turn this thing around. Okay. And he's doing it slowly. Is he doing all the moves that we want him to do? No, he's not. But he's still flipping the roster in a way that I believe is going to be best for the Steelers. Build the trenches. Get your quarterback when it's time to get a quarterback. Don't try to reach for a quarterback for the future. Don't do that. We did that with baby hands. But Omar Khan didn't do that, did he? He didn't do that. That wasn't his draft pick. And as soon as he could get him out, he did. So that's my whole thing about it is you got to start somewhere. You got to build for the future. So look at Mel. Mel said, y'all can keep the lot lizard. Stop it, Mel, man. Every now and then, you got to do what you got to do. But, yeah, the Steelers, it's desperation mode. I don't – look, bringing in Aaron Rodgers, a 41-year-old quarterback, that screams desperation. Bringing in a 34-year-old corner that can still play because he could still play last year. That screams desperation. Getting rid of a top 3 to 5 safety in the league for a corner that is past his prime, but is still really good. I mean, Jalen Ramsey is still a top 10 corner, people. Don't listen. Now, look, he's still got to go out there and prove it. But based on last year, Jalen Ramsey is still a top 10 corner. And just watch football, and that'll tell you. You can go to the metrics, and you can go look at all that data. It'll tell you that too. But if you just go watch, you're like, yeah, this is still a top 10 corner. Is he the best in the league anymore? No. But he's still really good. And is he an upgrade over what the Steelers had? Damn right he is. No matter where he plays, he's an upgrade. He's an upgrade. So, yes, it's desperate, man. I don't know that DK Metcalf was desperation, though. Like, bringing in a 27-year-old former All-Pro, still got a lot to prove, a lot to play for. I don't know that was a desperation move. I think that was just, look, do we want to pay George Pickens or do we want to pay another wide receiver? We know we got to pay somebody. Who would you rather pay? And the Steelers chose DK Metcalf over George Pickens. So I don't think that one was a desperation move. I think that was, we got to change our locker room, and I'm sorry we can't have George Pickens in our locker room anymore. We're moving on. But we do need to pay somebody, and this is the guy that we're going to choose to pay. That's what I'm thinking. What's going on, Howard? How you doing, brother? So hopefully the deuces that you're staying. I'm not sure. I apologize. I just saw you the deuces symbol. So if you're leaving, peace out. But if you're staying, we appreciate you. But I just don't. I don't find fault in being desperate at this point. Now, if we were desperate and like our offensive line, like all the draft picks that we have taken with the offensive line, if they all stunk, and the defensive line, they all were terrible, that would be a different conversation. But they're young, they're developing. Regardless of whether we think that the coaches that are in place can develop them, that's a different conversation. But, yeah, it's okay to be a little desperate, man. Sometimes, when you play desperate, you make mistakes. But sometimes when you play desperate, you actually play better. Sometimes you play like you got nothing to lose. You play better. My man Justin Watson became a member, man. We appreciate you, Justin. Thank you for supporting the channel, brother. We really do appreciate it. We do. Howard said, Later's Big B and Steelers Almighty for the second time. We see you, Howard. Thank you, brother. So thanks for coming in. Henry Johnson says Tomlin should have been fired with Colbert, but he wasn't. New GM and the same head coach is like putting on dirty clothes after a shower. No, it's not. But I get it. There's some people that just don't like Tomlin. And look, Tomlin, if this fails, like the moves that they made this year, we talked about this on the podcast on Friday. If you didn't see it, go check it out. We talked about this. If all these moves that they made, and then we end up going 7-10, then Mike Tomlin's ass is squarely on the hot seat. Squarely on it. Squarely. So there's some of you that think, hey, even if we have a winning season and don't win a playoff game, he needs to be on it. You know what? I've fought that long enough. I'm not going to fight that anymore. You're going to be right. You're going to be right. 9-8 is not good enough. We've talked about that. 10-7, great. But where's the playoff win? Because y'all know what I think. I've told you on several occasions. If there was a way that the Pittsburgh Steelers could get into the playoffs without winning a regular season game, and then we turn around and won 2 playoff games, I'd take that every single year. Now, granted, I know that's not possible. I know it's not possible. But I would do it. So, I would do it. So, that's where I'm at with it. Desperation, I'm not afraid of desperation. Some people are afraid of it. I'm not. Whether it's bold, whether it's just flailing around to try to find something, whatever. I just like the situation. I like where we're at. My man, Al Lewis says DK signing was smart. I think another wide receiver 2 signing would be great. If not, you go with 12 personnel, use the tight ends to your advantage. I'm good with that. I mean, we're going to need, look, I put together, and we're going to get it out here soon. My producer is on vacation with his family. So when he gets back, I did a little cut up of some Calvin Austin stuff on the outside. Look, Calvin Austin is not the ideal wide receiver number 2. I think he's a better slot. I've said that on many occasions, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite now and tell you, oh, well, he did some decent things. No, I still think he's a better slot. But he can do it if given the opportunity on a more consistent basis. He can do it. And maybe with better quarterback play, we'll see a lot of it. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities. It's like 2nd and 10. Calvin Austin just runs a 5-yard out, catches a pass. Well, that sometimes you just need that from that wide receiver too. Hey, catches 5 yards, so 3rd and 5 versus 3rd and 10. 3rd and 7. He catches a ball for 8 yards, 1st down. You just need that. It's not like you need that guy. Look, and I know we confuse it sometimes with like T. Higgins. There's not going to be T. Higgins on every football team, or Devontae Smith, or even Jalen Waddle. You're not going to find that with most football teams. But somebody who made it work without any of that is the Chiefs. So, now granted, they have Patrick Mahomes, they got Andy Reid, and they got Travis Kelce. Things are different, but it can be done. So we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, I'm not going to ever be a hypocrite and tell you that he's fine at wide receiver 2. We're fine. We can just no. We still need to go find one if possible. So, but guys on the team can do some stuff. Guys on the team can do some stuff. So, let's move on here. So, the rankings. ESPN executive poll places Cam Hayward. He's basically at number 10 as far as rankings. The rankings weren't on to the Steelers. In certain areas, pretty good, but in others, not. They ranked Cam Hayward. He still gets some respect, recognition at number 10. I mean, Cam Hayward played better than a top 10 defensive tackle last year, didn't he? I mean, he's first team All Pro. I'm not sure how he's at 10, other than they think that he's just going to fall, with his age. I don't know where you get 10. I don't know where you come up with 10. But whatever. You got Lawrence, Chris Jones, Carter, Simmons, Quentin Williams, Leonard Williams, Mamaduke, Buckner, and Vea. And then Hayward at 10. To me, the way Cam Hayward played last year, I think he's 5, lower than 5, in my opinion. I think he's no lower than 5. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But that's just kind of the thing. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? We've seen people have, agendas against the Steelers for years. So, a lot of writers hate on our beloved Steelers. They do. But that's how they get clicks and how they get ratings, is because they know that we're a crazy fan base. And if you write about us and you about us negatively, we'll get mad and get in comment sections. So Phoenix 55 says, we will get a certified number 2 wide receiver. Khan plays a slow and patient game. A lot of trades Steelers made. People gave up and thought they weren't going to happen. Look at Rodgers and Ramsey. Yeah. Well, hell, you can look at Jonnu Smith. Remember Jonnu Smith? The report came out before the draft. And then all of a sudden it just died down and went away because Miami was probably asking too much. Steelers were like, hell no. Well, then Miami got desperate. Then Pittsburgh said, absolutely. Not only that, we'll give them a raise. So I like that effect. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Also with PFF has the Steelers secondary not top 15. So just so we're on the same page, we have Joey Porter Jr., we have Darius Slay, and if you want to say that Jalen Ramsey, which I do, is the starting nickel corner, how's that not even a top 5 secondary with just those guys? But then you put in Deshaun Elliott, and I know, we lost Minkah Fitzpatrick. Yes, we did. We did. But you're going to tell me that losing a free safety, now you're not a top 15 secondary? Either that or they don't think that Joey Porter Jr. is very good. But to say they're not top 15 is about as disrespectful as possible. So that's just my feelings. I don't understand that. So the Steelers are 23rd. They were 23rd last year. They were improved. They say there's too many vets, not enough upside. But how are they going to play this year? That's all. I mean, everybody talks about upside. That's years down the line. What about this year? How will they play this year? We'll worry about next year. Upside is potential for multiple years down the road. That's not talking about this year. So, yeah, I don't know, Justin. I'm the same way. I'm surprised. I'm like, I don't get it. But I take that back. I do get it, because you got to consider the source. That's number one. And when they have an agenda, they're going to have an agenda, no matter what. But it just doesn't make sense. So, but Ramsey, Slay, Elliott, Thornhill, Porter Jr., that's not a top 15 secondary. Give me a break. I'm just not going to listen to it. I'm not going to listen to it. And again, I love Minkah Fitzpatrick. But if you're going to try to tell me that losing your free safety is going to make so much difference in your secondary, and maybe it will. Who the hell knows? I just don't believe that. I don't believe that, because I've said it on multiple occasions. Your free safety is so far down the line of importance of a football team. Now, all of a sudden, it's so important to a defense. The free safety? Come on. Come on, man. Come on. Jay's Up Teeth says, thanks for the super chat, by the way. We appreciate you supporting the channel. Said, how many draft picks needed to move up for QB 2026? Who knows, man? It's way too early to tell for any of that right now. Way too early for any of that. We don't know who the draft picks are going to be. We got a season to play. So I don't know anywhere close to that right now, brother. I'm not trying to be dismissive. It's just we don't know where we're going to finish. We don't know who the number one pick, and we don't know any of that stuff yet. So it's too early to talk about that, unfortunately. Big money and being a Steelers hater, says our man Theron Jackson. You're damn right there is. So Phoenix says, talent-wise, I'm feeling good about the team. The main thing is Tomlin and the coaching staff need to stop with the 1987 conservative crap and open up the play call and get creative and mix it up. I mean, yeah. I'll say yeah, And again, I don't think you bring Aaron Rodgers in here to tell him you can't throw the ball over the middle of the field. Now, it might happen, but I don't think that's why you bring him in here. Not to mention, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to stand for that because if guys are open, I'm going to throw them the football. I don't care where the hell they are. I don't care if they're on the moon. If I can get it to the moon, I'm throwing it to them if they're open. I feel like that's what it is. So, Steeler Girl agrees. Steeler Girl agrees with you, Phoenix. 100%. Absolutely. Got to figure that stuff out. So, and here's another thing. Are the Steelers even done adding to the secondary? I mean, there's a lot of people out there say sign Justin Simmons. I prefer Julian Blackmon. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are still available. I know Thornhill had bad tape. I mean, he didn't play well in Cleveland 2024. He got banged up. And maybe that was why. I don't know. Y'all know my philosophy on that, though, is that if you're hurt, I don't give you an excuse. That doesn't give you an excuse to play bad. It may give you an excuse to not play your best, but that doesn't give you an excuse to play bad. I just don't. I've never believed that. And I think I get that from my father, who was a high school coach. And he used to say, if you're hurt and you can play, I'm not expecting your best, but I better not get your worst. That's just, I've always lived by that. I'm not expecting your best, but I better not get your worst. And that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with injured players, So, and don't get me wrong, my dad coached a long time ago, so that's a 70s and 80s mentality. But I've stuck and I've held on to that. I've stuck and held on to that. Y'all might think that that's bad. I'm tough. I'm rude. I just, and that was my whole thing with Broderick Jones. Everybody said, oh, he's hurt. I'm like, okay. But does that mean you have to play like absolute garbage because you're hurt? And give garbage effort because you're hurt? No. So, Breaking Brad says, Big B, if you could take a past Steeler to be on this current roster for this season only, who would you take? That's a good question. I mean, Antonio Brown? I don't even think that's a question. I'm taking Antonio Brown. If you could take a past Pittsburgh Steeler and put him on this roster, give me Prime AB, because Prime AB is a top 5, top 6 receiver in NFL history. So if you're telling me that see Dexter, I wouldn't take Mel Blount. Mel Blount couldn't play today because of the rules. But if you're telling me that if you could take a past Pittsburgh Steeler and put him on this roster and put him opposite DK Metcalf, Antonio Brown all day long. All day long. All day long. Give me Prime AB. Shoot. And I'm taking it. I would take it. Clifford Brown says that he would take Big Ben or Troy. Look, I loved having Troy, and he made a huge difference. I mean, he's a top, to me, it's the second best safety of all time. But a wide receiver affects the game way more than a safety's going to. And I get the Big Ben, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers is anywhere close to what prime Big Ben was. I don't think so. But I still think Aaron Rodgers is really good. I think he's good. And if you put a prime AB next out there opposite DK Metcalf, I'm just telling you. So, my man James said bringing Shazier back. I'm sentimental on that one, man. I'm sentimental on that one. So, Kevin, you got to stop saying Plaxico Burress. You got to stop saying that out loud, brother. They're going to lock you up in a padded room. They lock you up in a padded room and throw away the key, Kevin. We love you. You got to stop saying that, man. No, there's about 4 wide receivers, maybe more, that you would take out there over Plaxico Burress. And I'm not saying Plaxico was bad either, because he wasn't. He wasn't. But so I would just, I would. Terry Bradshaw. Woody says Ben or Terry B. I wouldn't take Terry Bradshaw. There's probably 30 guys that I could come to name, probably more, before I took Terry Bradshaw. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Terry Bradshaw. Hell no. But again, I'm anti Terry Bradshaw. I'm tired of him constantly bashing the Pittsburgh Steelers. But yeah, there's 30 guys that I would take before I took Terry Bradshaw. At least 30. At least 30. So that's all. That's all I'm saying, people. But we'll see. We will see. So, I think the rankings are a bunch of garbage. So the skill position ranked number 21. That probably is right. I mean, we don't know. Look, Jaylen Warren's never been the guy. Caleb Johnson hasn't played an NFL snap. So we don't have a legitimate wide receiver too. I like Calvin Austin. I think Roman Wilson can be okay if he can get on the field. I like DK, but 21 is fair for skill position players, including Rodgers. The Bengals were 3rd, the Ravens are 8th, and the Browns are 29th. That sounds about right. So, and I don't think DK is enough to elevate this group. I think it's going to be more. Now, do you count skill position players with tight ends? Because Muth and Jonnu Smith have to help. They got to help. And I think you probably do count them with skill position players. So, I don't know. Maybe 21, it is what it is. It is what it is. Are the rankings fair at the end of the day? Probably. Now we got people on Thunderbird over in the chat talking about Limas Swede. I mean, come on, man. You got to stop. You got to. Now I got on Kevin. About throwing him in a padded room. I'm gonna tell you right now, Dad. I mean, I know they're just gonna put you in a hole. They're not even gonna give you a padded room. It's just gonna be a room of concrete. Just a room of concrete. You got to stop. You got to stop. Self-made, you're right. We debunk numbers every year. You're exactly right. Man. Oh, see, the Thunderbird is rolling in the chat now. Now we got Lewis Lips out here. Okay. Okay. Oh, Mark Malone. Okay. And we usually have a Mark Malone in the chat, but it's a different Mark Malone. But, oh, well. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. This is good stuff. So, well, we have come to the section of the show. Y'all know that we always have a producer question. And even though he wasn't here, producer's not here today, he still put a question in the chat. And I'm going to bring it up. I didn't look at it ahead of time. I think he had a way to find out if I had ever looked at it. I think he had a way of even checking on that. He was on me. So, Vegas is sipping on that Mad Dog 2020. Y'all got to stop. Clifford Brown's on Neil O'Donnell. Yeah, the Thunderbird is rolling. The Thunderbird is rolling in the chat tonight. It's gone off the rails. Absolutely off the rails. But we're at the section of the producer question. Let's bring it up here, and let's see what we got. You can only build your team around one of these new additions for the next 3 years. Who's your foundational piece? Is it DK Metcalf, elite size, speed, true wide receiver one, needs strong QB connection? Is it B, Caleb Johnson, bruising back, good vision, and above average speed? Or is it C, Derek Harmon, dual threat D tackle with a motor and a story? That's a great story. Or is it D, Will Howard, fiery rookie? I don't know that he has a big arm. He's got grit and a Steelers mindset. Um, hmm. 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 I think it should be A. I'm going to say Metcalf. Although, if I say Metcalf, I'm kind of going against what I always say the Steelers have to build, and that's the guys up front. I'm going against that. A or C? Ugh. It might be C. It just might be C. The problem with bruising back with Caleb Johnson is, first of all, he's never had a snap, so we don't know how that's going to work out. But even if it does work out, how long do running backs last? I don't know, man. This is a good question. I said A, but I think it would be more. I mean, yeah, I think it's A. You can't build your team around a defensive tackle anymore. Even the Rams didn't build their team around Aaron Donald. Now, they had a team, but they didn't say, okay, we got Aaron Donald. We're just going to build everything off of him. He was just that dude that, hey, you got to double team me. And even if you do, that doesn't mean you're going to block me. And anytime you single block me, I'm wrecking your play. And it don't matter what play it is. So I think it's A for me, man. I think it's A for me. Because while I like running backs, you can find them. You can find them. So Clifford Brown says DK. Yeah, I'm kind of in that boat too. So A, he's the only proven one. Exactly. The only proven one. You can only choose one, Mel. You can't choose two. You can only choose one. So it is what it is. It is what it is, man. So, but that's what it is. That's the producer question tonight, good people. I like it. Look, we're gonna wrap this up. But I want to make sure that everybody understands our man Big G wasn't with us tonight. Everybody, make sure you say a prayer for Big G. He's gonna be all right. He'll be back. I'm not going to get into specifics on what's going on with him, but he'll be back. I, on the other hand, will not be back next week. I will be gone on vacation. So, big show. It'll be 2 weeks before you see me back on the big show because the missus is forcing me to go on a vacation, so I'm going to go. But I'll chip in from time to time. I'll send y'all, if y'all are members, and especially if you're on your Steelers Almighty fan page, if you guys are members and you've signed up for the fan page, you're going to see me. You're going to see some pictures of me. You're going to see some pictures of me. So make sure if you guys are members and you're at the level to where you can sign up on the Steelers Almighty fan page, make sure you do on Facebook. Make sure you go sign up there. Because not only if you're level 4 or higher can you get the all 22 coverage that we always have, you'll also be able to get into chats and all that kind of stuff. So make sure that you sign up on the Facebook page if you are there. So is Big G going to do it by himself next week? We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. I don't want to make any promises or anything like that on Big G right now. But we'll figure all that out when the time is necessary, man. We'll figure all that out. So, again, just keep your thoughts with Big G. He'll be back when it's time for him to be back. I promise you. And he's itching to be back. So, but the main thing is he's got to take care of himself. So, Again, everybody, there's a click, or there's a link in the chat for everybody to click on. If you're not a member, or if you were a member previously, make sure you click on that to become a member again. Again, the prices have gotten cheaper for everybody. So you may consider going up a level or two because the prices are cheaper for you to be able to get there. Remember, level 4 or higher get you the all 22 access of the entire football game that we're doing, not only for last season, we're also doing it for this season. So we appreciate that. Thank everybody for showing up like you always do. Do me a favor, man. Click on the link when this show's over, the like button, make a comment, all that good stuff that you guys always do. Again, we love you, and aloha.